Hi, what's going on, guys? We're back again with another live stream. I thought I'd go live. I know it's quite late in the UK right now, but I wanted to go live not only to discuss some updates with transfer news on Rodrigo of Real Madrid, Fenerbahce on Leandro Trossard's situation, as reported by Turkish journalist Ellis Views Iraq, and also importantly, the title of this video: Gyökeres refusing to show up to training for Sporting Lisbon, but Arsenal still stalling a deal in terms of an agreement yet to be reached. Gyökeres clearly stated he only wants Arsenal, and it's over with Sporting Lisbon. Hi, Omar. No emergency stream here. I would love to have you on the panel, but you're probably at work. It would be cool to do a stream together. I was gonna call you earlier today, but I thought maybe you would still be at work. But Omar, I do have to say, looks like the guy I was telling you about yesterday, Morgan Gibbs White, Tottenham might be taken to court over that deal. Um, Big up to you, the cynical one. I did see you live. Shout out to Coach Mace as well, Mace Taggart channel. I hope Sister Nicer's doing well in 305. I do tune into your room, Kuda. Um, and Platinum. I like those rooms, so hopefully you guys are having a good summer so far. I really like your discussions that you cover a variety of topics on your channel. Omar says Madueke is so bad. What does Arsenal see in him? Well, Omar, you're a Tottenham fan. I don't think you should have much say on the quality players. Mind you, I think kudos to Tottenham is an upgrade on his position at West Ham. West Ham, you can say he had one good season. The first season he joined West Ham from Ajax, but the last season after that he didn't really do well. It was more like a one season wonder signing. But then you could say that under Lopetegui and West Ham, they wouldn't make even like a Jack Grealish look like a good player, or a Holland. They wouldn't be able to get the best out of these players. With the situation of Victor Gyökeres, Fabrizio Romano provided an update earlier this morning. It's not really a lot of information, but what we were told is that today Victor Gyökeres was supposed to report back to training with Sporting Lisbon. He refused to show up to training, and he's really forcing the move. Um, he's made his decision clear as reported during the week. He only wants to move to Arsenal, and in fact, it has been reported that Manchester United tried to approach the player and tap up the player at least 3 times in this window. And Gyökeres more than once told Manchester United, "I only want to move to Arsenal. I'm convinced that I only want to play for Arsenal." And I don't know whether it's the guaranteed game time of him being the number one striker for us and the batsman, or Arteta and Berta really convinced this guy. And I also think this guy doesn't want to play under Ruben Amorim anymore, and he wants Champions League football, which Manchester United can't offer. Yoker has also informed the sporting president about 5 days ago that he doesn't want any other club except Arsenal. So he's trying to force a move. He sacrificed 2 million from the salary that he would earn at Arsenal just to fund the move. And he's even broken up with his girlfriend. Big up, Keeler. Thanks for joining. He says the fact that he broke up with his girlfriend in Portugal for the sake of football, he doesn't want anything in the way of this move. He even dumped his girlfriend. He sacrificed 2 million in terms of the deal. Like he cut off 2 million in terms of the deal, but we're still not hearing any new information. The deal remains in advanced stages. So some of you guys are believing articles that say in the Portuguese media that a deal is off, a deal is on hinges. Um, Sporting are simply waiting to see if Arsenal match their 70 million plus 10 asking price, whereas Arsenal offered 65 plus 15. The difference is in terms of the add-ons being paid out. Sporting Lisbon want 10 million in add-ons and more money up front, which is a difference of 65 to 75 million in the upfront fee, whereas Arsenal are offering 15 million in add-ons and 65 million upfront. Arsenal know that Gyökeres' continued absence in training and him trying to force a move helps leverage our situation, so we're not really in a rush. And he's already turned down other moves to Manchester United. he rejected Manchester United, or you can say he snubbed a move to Manchester United because they're not offering him Champions League football. And it's clear that his mind is only set on the move to Arsenal. So I think, to summarize this transfer, it is just a matter of when, not if. Um, Cooler says, I think it's clear as day that he wants Arsenal, just like how Rashford wants to move to Barcelona. And when Rafinha left to Barcelona, some of these players, it's their dream move to go to a club like Barcelona. Keep in mind, Rashford is on extremely high wages at Manchester United. I read an article that Aston Villa tried to keep Rashford, but they can't pay the full wages that he wants. And he wants now a different challenge in his career to move to Barcelona. And I don't blame him. I think he might do well there if they sign him. I don't know if Barcelona can afford him in terms of the fee or wages wise. They had registration issues with signing the winger from Bilbao, um, Nico Williams. But I know Rashford is a different situation and a different style of player, so maybe that's their priority. We're also hearing rumors from Marca, who's quite reliable when it comes to Real Madrid news, that states Rodrigo's situation. So Real Madrid will refuse any offer under 100 million euros for Rodrigo, and Real Madrid have not forced Rodrigo to leave. Premier League clubs have returned to inquire about Rodrigo, several Premier League clubs, and it's likely that he'll play the first opening fixture in the Prem if he decides to leave. But the situation with Rodrigo remains that Real Madrid have not said that, we're not going to include you in the squad. Nothing's really changed in that stance. And Marca even said that um, they're not forcing um, they're not forcing him out. They're saying, a lot of articles are giving different news. So Marca was saying that, Rodrigo doesn't want to leave Real Madrid. He's happy there, even though he's a bench warmer. Yet other articles, like the one from Lasar, Cadena, Sir, they said Rodrigo's expected to leave Real Madrid this summer and join a Premier League club before the Premier League season officially starts, and that they said he's not in Jabi Alonso's plan for next season. We need further information on this, but more importantly, I think the main signing should be Abrizier Eze. The Eze situation is one we need to wrap up, whether it be a release clause or whether we don't activate a release clause and we just submit a player plus cash swap deal, and bid for the player. Hi, Bila. Thanks for joining, my friend. Hop on YouTube if you want to join me on my live stream. Just click the link in my Twitter bio. It's been a long time since I've spoke to you. I hope you're well, Bila. Hi, Fraser. Thanks for joining. I was really bored, so I thought I'd go live just to talk about some Arsenal chat. I know it's really late in the UK, so um, I'm not really fussed about the amount of people watching at this time. Um, at the moment, in terms of the Rodrigo situation, if you guys were to ask me, am I confident that we would sign Rodrigo? I would say no. I don't think Rodrigo has the balls to request a move away from Real Madrid. And in fact, I do think that he will stay at Real Madrid regardless of the situation. Um, Moving forward to Abriche Eze, I don't even know if we began initial talks with Abriche Eze today. There wasn't really any concrete updates on the situation of Abriche Eze, but yesterday, Sam CR reports did mention that Arsenal were working on wrapping up Noni Madueke and beginning discussions with Abriche Eze, preliminary discussions with Abriche Eze's camp on instead of activating a release clause, but bidding for the player and offering Josh Nichols as a player plus cash swap deal. Um, Cooler says Furman Lopez and Mark Casado are staying at Barcelona. I thought Casado would leave. I did see that, and I also saw Real Madrid getting the sense the Asensio that was at Villa. He's gone now to Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce, they want all these players, but they're not willing to pay the money. Um, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. You don't have to do that, Fraser and Dylan Kev. Big up from FDT's channel. Thanks, Fraser. You're awesome. But just you guys watching, I really appreciate it. Thanks for the donation. Um, Thanks, Dylan Cav. Hope you guys are well. I know you guys are playing COD, is it? Or Pro Clubs on Charlie's channel. Hi Yasser. Salam alaikum Yasser. Well, you got Noni Madueke off your hands and you got good money for it. Every time it's a deal with Chelsea, the deal happens quick. But when it's a striker we need and an actual bagsman, the deal is delayed. You know, we're hearing all kinds of nonsense on a deal could potentially collapse. I really hope we don't get to that low of a bar in terms of standards wise and expectations wise from this club. I still think the deal is going to go underway, and it's pretty much hopefully by the end of this weekend we should hear a here we go from Fabrizio on the Victor Gyökeres situation. Some fans are going into extreme panic mode because we've been in this situation before where we really needed a striker and we didn't sign one. We chose to rely on Kai Havertz for the entirety of the season or have a makeshift striker in Mikel Marino, which isn't really favorable going into a new season and when we're trying to actually win things. Um, Cooler says, "Who do you think deserves the number 10 in Real Madrid since Modric is leaving?" Good question. I think that's really tough to answer because Luka Modric was a gem at Real Madrid, and I think he's going to AC Milan now. If I'm not mistaken, his last game was um in the Club World Cup competition where they got spanked. And I think they should retire Luka Modric's jersey, but I know they don't really do that in football. It'll be interesting to see who gets that number, but I think those are extremely big boots to fill in terms of Luka Modric's position. Maybe Mbappe might get it when I don't know. I think Mbappe might get it. And Mbappe has been good at Real Madrid. You know, a lot of people said when Mbappe first signed there, oh, he's not going to do well. He's going to struggle at Real Madrid. And now look, like, you know, um, it's Vinny and Mbappe carrying that team. But then PSG are about to win 5 trophies potentially if they beat Chelsea in this Club World Cup final on Sunday, which I will be doing a watch along for on my channel. Cooler's asking me about Gittins from Dortmund, who's now a Chelsea player. Chelsea got him for a good price tag, and of course, with the Noni Madueke sale, making over 30 million in revenue, over 30 million in revenue from when they bought Madueke from PSV. Will Gittins play versus PSG on Sunday? I do think he'll finally get game time in that game. Madueke, as if you guys know already, he traveled to do his medical today and sign his documents, which was already done. So he won't be in America for that final on Sunday. He said, "See you later," and he went to do his medical and documents. And I don't even think he would have been included in the squad um, for that game or would have been played in that game. Well, Pedro, good signing for Chelsea. I mean, he gets a brace against his boyhood club. I do think he'll do well at Chelsea, and he is a good signing for them alongside Liam Delap from Ipswich. Thanks, Fraser. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys do more streams on your channels as well. Cooler, I just caught you live today. I didn't even know you do gaming streams like that. But let us know. Like I put notifications on, but sometimes YouTube's finicky and you put notifications on for a channel and it doesn't notify you when they're live. YouTube can be different like that, difficult like that. Um, but hope everybody, well, I just started YouTube. Yeah, I started 5 years ago myself during COVID. It's hard to grow a channel, but just keep consistent. And this is something I do for fun outside of work. Very different to my actual job, but I quite enjoy it. And it's nice to talk football with like-minded people, share my views, and also meet people of different views and people who support different clubs. You can have engaging discussions with. If I feel like it, I barely stream if I feel like it. Yeah, me too. I only go live if I feel like it. To be honest, I'm not really a lot of consistent. I'm not really as consistent as I used to be, but this week, guys, I did 4 streams in a row off the back of coming back from a holiday, and for me, that's like a record for me. Because and like the way I do my channel is I don't tell people when I'm going live. I don't spam my link anywhere. I know every YouTuber does things differently, but I'm not one of those YouTubers that spam my link everywhere. Like if you see me live, you see me live. If not, it is what it is. I'm not fussed about numbers, but I'm really glad to have reached 10K. Oh my gosh, why are you guys donating? Guys, save your money, Charlie, Fraser, and Dylan Kev. You guys are crazy. Thanks for the super chat, Charlie. That's very thoughtful of you. But guys, save your money, please. And thanks for joining, Charlie. I'm still in your live chat while you're live. Um, but yeah, I was bored, so I was thinking, let me talk some transfer updates on our club. Fraser, save your money. Big up, Fraser. Guys, we don't want a betting war here. You know Arsenal don't do betting wars. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope to go live on Sunday for the Club World Cup final. Hopefully PSG win it, as I don't want to see Chelsea win two Club World Cups off the back of the same Champions League. Sorry, Yasser. I do think Luis Enrique's team is much stronger, and we'll see what happens. May the best team win in that final. But two very good teams. Of course, PSG with the better attack, you can say, and it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea line up in that final. Big up L Flash, thanks for joining. Um, thank you Fraser for the super chat. Thanks Charlie for the super chat and Dylan Kev. Respects to everyone who's joined. I know it's really late in the UK, but I just wanted to share some updates from what happened today. There wasn't really much new information on the Gyökeres situation other than him not showing up to training in Sporting Lisbon, and he pretty much told the president of Sporting that I don't want to go to any other club except to move to Arsenal. He's forcing his way out of Sporting Lisbon, but it's just a matter of if not when um, of the signing of Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal. Please tell me you're not one of those Arsenal fans that won't call out the board. You must be new to my channel because I'm a very balanced fan and I do call out the manager and the board. Not every stream. I don't need to have emergency meeting in my stream to be balanced and objective. Um, I just say things as they are and as they appear. I don't sugarcoat anything. Um, and I say things exactly how they are. Big up, Jose. I was really bored, man, without On the Stoop. And since Flags in the Dark finished, I thought, okay, fuck it, let me go live and just do a quick recap stream of the news today. There wasn't really a lot. Big up, Mobbo. Sorry, I didn't recognize you earlier in the chat. Thanks for joining, Mobbos. He says we are going to have a ton of emergency meetings for Arsenal this year. Oh yeah, you best believe it. We really need to win something. It's been 5 years since that FA Cup that we're still riding on. And with the squad that we have now, you can't even use the excuse anymore that Arteta doesn't have his players. Um, and the good thing about Berta that I've seen so far is we're not getting played in the market, bar the Madueke signing. And I know that Madueke signing is one that Arteta preferred, which came out in from the media. Even Fabrizio said it. I mean, I don't know why we have good relationships with our rivals, but I guess Chelsea openly said that it's because of our payment structures. They favor how we do things. Um, Breakdowns with player transfers and whatnot. Mabo says, "Are we going to win anything this year?" It's too early to say the predictions in terms of what will happen because we're still in the transfer window, and I need to see who else we get in this window before I can predict where Arsenal will finish. I will be doing a prediction stream, but also this upcoming week I'll be doing a keep, buy, sell, loan stream as well. um, would you sack Arteta if he goes 1 for 26? I mean, I think everybody would. That's unacceptable. That's beyond sackable offense. Um, I just want Gyökeres on the plane with the team for the beginning of preseason, 100%. And Arteta expressed that himself that he wants most of his players in by preseason when we go to Singapore and Hong Kong. Charlie, thanks again for the super chat. Big up to you. Please check out Charlie's channel. He does a lot of gaming content, more consistent than I am, than I've ever been. I will like hold my hands up, but his channel is FDT. I will link it in the chat. Um, and he goes live almost every day. Whatever the viewers ask for, he streams hours and hours and hours. Like he puts a lot of effort into his channel. So do check out FDT's channel. He's a mod on my channel as well. Um, so please check out Charlie's channel. Um, I've known him for almost four years. Wow, time flies in COVID, man. Like COVID literally took 5 years from us. Fraser, oh my gosh, Scar, stop! I don't know how to turn the super chats off. Thanks, Fraser. Respects to you, but guys, keep your money, please. Will you call out the wrongins in this fan base this year? Man, like Tom Canton and Alex Moneypenny. I'm not one of those channels. I say things as they are myself, but I don't need to point the finger at any fans. It's everybody's entitled to their own opinion and how they want to support the club. If people want to be delusional and if people want to brown nose the management or ask kiss the management for PR or whatever, that's their incentive and that's what they choose to do. These are grown men and women. I'm not going to be sitting here belittling other channels and other platforms. This is my platform. I say things exactly how they are, exactly how I see it, and unbiased, unfiltered, pretty much balanced and as objective as I can be. When Arteta does things right, when the management does things right, I give credit. But when it's the other way around, I call it out and I say, what we could improve on. And there's a lot of issues in this club, not just with the management, but it's also the board and the Cronkies. Um, you can say we've improved since Kroenke's got full ownership of the club, but then the trophies don't necessarily account for it. This is a make or break season for Arteta, but then you can argue that the board don't see it that way, that there's not pressure on Arteta to win trophies in terms of the management keeping him in his job. Um, Fraser and Charlie are having a super chat battle here. Guys, big up to Fraser as well. Fraser Football, his channel as well. um, Guys, stop daring each other. And thank you very much for the donations. Fraser does a lot of football comps and shorts on his channel. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys just watching and tuning in. You don't need to donate. But it's all love and thanks everybody. Um, In terms of free agents, I did see that Aubameyang was a free agent, and the updates in terms of Aubameyang's situation was that Marseille were looking to re-sign him. I know it's not an Arsenal news update per se, but it is a former Gunner, so I will throw that in there. Taylor versus Serrano on later tonight. Top-notch boxing on display. Yeah, I did see that on DAZN. There's also the CFL Riders game that's been delayed. Should start in about 45 minutes from now. What is going to happen with Madueke if he performs poorly? I don't know. The environment's really toxic around the situation of signing Madueke in the first place, as you guys know if you don't already. The All of the artwork, graffiti artwork that North Banksy done was vandalized today with Arteta out, and some people couldn't even spell Arteta out properly. Theo Hernandez going to Al Hilal. Yes, it is a done deal for Theo Hernandez leaving to Al Hilal, Saudi club. And as you guys know, John Duran left Saudi to go to Marino's Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce are going after so many players. But can I also just say, Sunderland are going after a lot of AFCON players. Do they not realize that these players will be gone in AFCON for a month? Retagui, what a baller. Yeah, I mean, why did he go to Saudi? Like, he's still young, he's still got a lot in him. I'm surprised he went to a move to Saudi. Paris, big up to you. He says, "Is Jordan okay?" No, no, sorry, not necessarily. Jordan's in the hospital. He has diabetes, like low blood sugar, and I believe his sugar levels went down significantly. So he's in the hospital, and his mom informed me to let everyone who supports him on his channel know. It's the second time this year that he's been admitted to hospital for the same situation. But I wish Jordan get well soon. And yeah. L Flash says, I find it so funny how all the Sesko sexuals now change to Gyökeres. I swear to God, some of these fans definitely do PR for the club. Personally, I don't mind any of them, and I wasn't against the signing of Watkins if Villa lowered their price tag, but I anything in terms of an upgrade on what we have and a secondary attacker to strengthen our attack. I still think signing Gyökeres alone doesn't elevate our attack. It would be much better with the likes of an Eze or a Rodrigo. And I don't believe we're signing Rodrigo as nice as it would be. But I would love to have Eze in our attack, and I do think he's still got it in him, and he's a valuable asset at Palace. If you guys don't know, Palace got relegated to the Conference League. They've got pretty much hard done by, even though Man City done the same thing. Leon, they don't get stick for it. Man City don't get stick for it, but Palace are made an example, and Palace got relegated now to the Conference League. So I do think Palace will lose a lot of their valuable assets that they have left. What number should Gyökeres get? I think Gyökeres should get 9 off Gabriel Jesus. Take the number off Gabriel Jesus. But I don't think that's the case, so I do think he'll get 14. And maybe we'll give as a 10. Palace have gotten hard done by. Yes, that's exactly what I've said. And it's a shame that they've used Palace as an example in that situation. But we don't just need any upgrades. We need a world class striker. Let's be honest, Watkins is average, and yeah, we definitely need Eze. Um, Victor Gyökeres is a bagsman, so let's just hope he does it in the Premier League. And a lot of us are confident that he'll do it in the Premier League. I think he's going to elevate our attack, and I want this attack to be the main leading line. And you see Gyökeres is finishing compared to Sesko. Anywhere you put him in that front, he's bagging you. Against Man City in the Champions League, he's done it under the lights. So it's clear why Bertha wanted him over Benjamin Sesko and Watkins. Um, Jose says, "Give me as a Gyökeres and a new manager, and I think our chances of winning go up significantly higher." You know, I do have to say one thing about this, Jose, is the the manager situation. You're finally getting every single player you want under the sun, and I know maybe he's not happy he didn't get Sesko, who he really wanted, but you're getting Madueke, who you twerked for, you really wanted. And you're getting Norgard, you wanted. Zubamendi, you wanted. There's no excuses now on, what our situation is. You can't use injuries as an excuse. So this is do or die season for Arsenal. Hi, Tyrone. Hope you're well. Hope you're all right. It's been a while since I've seen you live as well. Big up to you. Gyökeres actually played good in that game in the game Arsenal beat them 5-1. No, Gabriel Magalhaes pocketed him and snatched his chain in their own backyard, which was nice to see. But you want that guy, that bagsman on your team. You want that gunman on our team, and people call him Glock 9 for a reason. Um, if Arsenal get Eze, you lot will cook. Yeah, I think Eze is a baller, and on that left wing, he will dominate that position. I don't think Madueke is coming in to play left wing, even though he can. I do think he's solely going to be a backup to Bukayo Saka, which is finally going to give Saka some rest in some games. That celebration with Gabriel and Gyökeres, that alone should be that 5 million evaluation that we're off by, or trying to iron out. I hope release Glock 9 trends. Yeah, Glock 9, or people say Glockerez as well. Jose says Arteta's taken 4 years and had to be forced to get a striker. For me, he's being forced fed a striker, and it's been long enough. We could have got one 2 years ago, but he got his players. I don't think we replaced Aubameyang properly in that time. So Arteta, we're finally getting a bagsman, and there's no more excuses that can be used. And I'm someone that likes Arteta, likes the way we're the system we're playing. But I do think our system will change this season, and I do see us playing more defensively. Madueke ain't the best signing because he's not worth 50 m's, but it will ease Saka. Yeah. The price tag we paid for Madueke is 48.5 million. And the breakdown. Sorry, I'm just looking for the post from Team News and Ticks today. Bear with me one moment. The breakdown. So the price tag is 48.5 million, and um, they're saying like the add-ons are probably not as much achievable, but in terms of, initially they discussed 10 million in add-ons, and they came down to 3.5 million in add-ons, and the rest being the base fee, 48.5 plus 3.5 million being the add-ons. So it's a total of 52 million, which I do think is, an overpay for this player. um Thanks, Cooler, for joining. Thanks, everyone who joined from FDT stream. I am gonna wrap up the stream not long from now. L Flash says, guys, I have Gyökeres' flight book. Can someone get his luggage and water bottle? He forgot it in his girl's house. You mean his ex's house? He really cut off his girlfriend to avoid any issues in his move to Arsenal. And this guy even said, I'm cutting 2 million from my salary. Hi Garvin, long time, my friend. How you doing? Hope your family's all well. Where are you guys, man? Chelsea were in the Club World Cup semifinal against Fluminense. I ain't seen none of you guys live. Chelsea are now in a final on Sunday. I hope you're going live again, Garvin. It's been a long time, man. I ain't seen none of you guys live. Good to see you though, Garvin. Hope you're well. Bakayoko from PSV is better than Whoopi Goldberg and costs less. Answer me why Arsenal would spend 50 million on a backup unless they're planning to play him left wing. When we agreed personal terms with Madueke, they specified that he would only play right wing backup. So the left wing position is open, and that's also been debunked by Fabrizio and Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs, who is reliable for Chelsea News. So that left wing spot is open for Eze can play 10 or left wing, but he mostly played left wing at Chelsea. Sorry, at Crystal Palace. Um, Big up, Dylan. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Bakayoko, and I'll even go one step further to say Ademola Lookman from Atlanta. We could have tried for him. He's a great player. Hi, Moss. Enjoy the Riders game. It's about to start soon. I will tune into that. I'm about to wrap up my stream. Um, I thought I'd go live for some time, just to kind of kill time and share some updates on what we know so far from today's situation, with Rodrigo updates, Gyökeres, and the Madueke deal paperwork being done. Thanks everyone who's joined. Thanks for all the donations, Charlie, Dylan, Kev, and Fraser. I did link all of your channels. But I do think Gyökeres is nothing to worry about. It is a matter of when, not if. And hopefully by this weekend, by the end of this weekend, we will hear "Here We Go" from Fabrizio Romano. And he'll join Arsenal on preseason. Next week is preseason for Arsenal. A week and a half to go. Arsenal going to Singapore. It'll be good games to watch, but some of you guys in the UK complain about having to stay up late and whatever to watch these games. But I'm looking forward to see the new signings in action. And a North London derby in Hong Kong. I think the first game is on the 23rd of July, so just over a week to go. Um, in Asia and in Singapore, and then we have a new game against Newcastle. Then we go to North London derby in Hong Kong on the 31st of July. Thanks everyone who's joined. Big up to Tyrone, Garvin, Fraser, Charlie, Dylan, Jose, El Flash, Paris, Mobos. Um, Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Thanks for everyone who's joined. Do or die for Arteta this coming season. The foundation is there. Hit that vape if we're getting Gyökeres. Do or die for Arteta this coming season. The foundation is there. Yeah, there's no the everything. The groundwork's already there, and it's just a matter of us progressing forward and actually beating these teams. That the low block teams is what we struggled a lot against last season. I hope bringing Eze in gives us proper coverage on the left. And it's hard. We have pretty much a whole new revamped midfield. Um, Hi 305, how you doing, man? I hope you had a good holiday. I'm about to wrap up the stream though, but thanks for joining me. Hopefully you're having a good Friday so far. No Coach May stream. So I was bored out of my mind. I thought I'd go live to talk soccer, football as you guys call it in the UK, but um I'm about to sign off now and I'll be live again on Sunday. Um Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Thanks for all the super chats. Have a good rest of your night, everyone, and have a good weekend. If we get a here we go from Fabrizio for the signing of Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal, I will go live just for that. Hopefully, I don't miss it, but we should see that hopefully by the end of this weekend. Noni Madueke to Arsenal is a done deal, already medical done and paperwork signed. Next is Abriche as a former Hill Ender, bringing back to the club will be awesome. Thanks, Fraser. I appreciate the support. Thanks for joining, and thanks to everyone who's joined. Thanks, Tyrone and Garvin. Big up to you guys, and good luck in the final. May the best team win. You guys are already generating a lot of money from just being in that competition alone, but actually winning it is more than Champions League winners' revenue. So may the best team win, especially against Luis Enrique's PSG attack. He built that team. He's a very good manager, Luis Enrique. And without Neymar, Messi, and um, he's showing he can do it without spending. And Dembele is having a stellar season there. I think the only player that was, their attack is it's only one player that's old in their attack. They have a young core attack that Luis Enrique built. So they're on their way potentially to win 5 trophies, and they play Tottenham in the Super Cup. I think it's gonna be a battering for Tottenham, and potentially this deal for Morgan Gibbs White could collapse. I don't see City going for him because they signed Turkey and Rangers. Hi, why not? I'm just about to wrap up this stream, but thanks for joining. I ain't seen you in a minute. Hopefully, you're having a good summer. It was good to see you yesterday in BBK's channel with Jason Gooner. Shout out my brother Jason Gooner. Good channel, balanced Arsenal opinions. But I just thought I'd do a quick stream to share some updates today on some of our signings and targets. Hopefully, we get all our signings in before we go on this preseason tour. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you all Sunday for the Club World Cup final watch along on my channel. So do turn on notifications if you're interested. Big up Jaden. Respect. Thanks for joining from FDT's channel. Big up everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care.